Are you wondering how people can even think about writing a book in a month? Tired of the snail pace of your novel? This is Angelina Allsop of thetravelingauthor.com, where books plus travel equals happiness. For the best book recommendations, travel and writing tips, subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell to be notified when I post a new video every Wednesday. Today I'm saying hello from sunny Arizona, and in this video we're exploring 7 writing hacks that will get you to write your novel in a flash. If your novel is stagnant or taking forever, by the end of this video you will have the very steps that I take to create my books. This is a proven method used by many published authors, but now it's your turn. Stick to the end and I will tell you how you can get a template that I use to create each one of my novels. Hack number 1, understand the rules up front. I've said this before, there's a lot of story elements that goes into writing a novel. Take the time to understand them up front. It will make a huge difference with your writing speed if you can understand how a story works, how characters develop themselves, how they're developed, I should say. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Understand all these elements up front, and then you can work through. I could do a whole video on this. Comment below and let me know if you want that. But for now, I'm just going to put some links in the descriptions that dramatically helped me understand these different elements. Step number 2, understand the world you're working in. So if you made up the world, understand how it works. How does the government work? How does the magical system work? You don't have to go into the gritty, nitty things like how when they do their taxes and stuff, unless that's relevant to the story itself, but you yourself need to understand how this world works. On the other side, if you're writing, I've mentioned this example before, if you're writing a thriller and your main character is in the military, he's in special black ops or whatever, he's in black ops, you need to understand what it's like to be in a military family. You need to understand what it's like to be in the military. So you may not completely understand, but at least talk to someone who's in the military. You don't have to talk to someone necessarily who's in the black ops, but talk to a military wife or a kid in the military or all of these different people. Read a biography, read like the how-to books. What is it like? Read blog posts and like ask on Quora, what is it like to be in the military? Watch a documentary, like go on YouTube. These people are on YouTube just sharing their story. Listen to their story. But you kind of need to understand this world, the world of military, if you're writing a thriller novel. Otherwise, you're going to mess up a lot. It's going to show through in your writing. You're not going to understand what truly motivates your character if you just don't understand the world that he lives in. That brings me to step number 3, understand your character's need. A character has an internal need and an external need. An external need might be something like, you need to get this promotion. This is really important. This character needs to get this promotion. But really the internal drive is that they want to prove to society that they're not a POS, like they just want to, or even deeper than that, they want to please their father. Maybe their father's dead and then that complicates things. But understanding that about your character will understand what needs to be done. Like basically the story starts to write itself when you understand more of these elements. Understand the story. Understanding of the story elements helps, understanding that there's act 1, act 2, act 3, understanding Harmon's story circle, but like understanding your story. So how do you want it to end? How do you, like, you have a big end that you're working towards. You need to understand what that is. Maybe you don't know exactly what it is. Like, let's say a character's going to die. Let's say the villain. You don't have to necessarily understand how he's going to die. In fact, sometimes that can be some of the best written books, is you just don't quite understand, but you understand that it's going to happen. So understanding these parts of your book will make a big difference. Comment below and let me know if you're a plotter or pantser. So I've talked about this in other videos where, one writes out the plots that outlines everything and the other one just writes on the seat of their pants. Or are you something of a combination of the two? Comment below, let me know. Curious. Step number 5, right? Like you're a bulldozer without brake. Don't edit. Don't stop. Don't stop to look up the name of a character or the spelling or the color of their eyes. Just keep like a little tab. Like I use the @ symbol if I need a quick like reference later. Like I'll do his, at in parentheses eye color and then just move on. Write with stream of consciousness. And the more you practice this, I know it's really annoying looking at those squiggly red lines. Just ignore it. Just keep going. I promise you, if you practice doing this, this single step will dramatically increase your writing like you won't even believe. In fact, in a book of the month, they talk about people writing a version of the manuscript in a month. So they specifically say it's not written and edited in 1 month. Though people can do it. There have been people that do it. But in the book of the month, writing month, blah, blah, I'll look that up later. But in National Authors Book in a Month Challenge, they specifically say you can either write a rough draft of your novel or edit a version of your novel in 1 month. But you usually cannot do both. All right, so even the experts, people who have been writing a long time, will tell you don't write it and edit at the same time. Step number 6, do a bunch of mini edits. So this sounds a little weird. I learned this concept in 2K to 10K, but this is how I edit my novel. So I do a checklist of different edit types. All right. So the first one, I will go through all of those like story changes that I've done. So like I make a running list. If I want to change my character's name in the middle of a novel, instead of going through and changing all of the words while I'm writing it, I'll save it for later. And this is the part where I do it. So I will do Control Find. If his old name was Tim and the new one is Pete, I do Control Find Tim, replace with Pete, and I'm done. And I do that with all of the changes that I wanted to make in my novel. The second one is those at symbols. So like it's like quick look up the character's name, or maybe I just like, sometimes I've done this with whole sections. At problem with section, and then I keep writing on. So like I don't want to stop and work out whatever problem's going on in the section. I was just too much in a flow. I'll just do that, and then so what I'll do is I break those up into 2 separate edit lines. So the one is the quick lookup, something that I can just quick reference, eye color, fill it in, delete the at symbols, and move on. And I do all of those, and then I go back and do the ats that are long. So like a whole section needs to be written or figured out or something like that. I knew it was going to be a little bit more complicated, like, or I can't quite explain what's happening here, or sometimes writing scenes are really difficult for me to write out, like it's just a little confusing and mumble mess. I'll go through and do those longer ones. Then I look at my scenes as a whole. So I have like in Scrivener, it's really easy to do. I have all my folders with the chapters, but they're just like little blocks, and they're like, they're the words, like Word documents, right? So what I do, those are all my scenes. So I'll go through and I'll look and see, do I want the scene? Do I not want the scene? Is it boring? I'll look at it from a reader's perspective and just exit, delete them, delete whole scenes. So I'll add, and I'll like find sections that I need a scene. I have a gap in my story or something that I need to cut. So I do that in my next section, and then after that, I go through and do a spell check with just grammar, and then I do my first deep look. I make sure that the writing makes sense, the sentences and commas and all that stuff. And then I just keep doing, I do a couple of those, I call them polish edits, where I do one where it has big changes, and then the other one it's polished to make sure I don't miss anything. Sometimes I'll do a couple of those, and then like my final one, maybe I read out loud. I have a read out loud app that I have on my phone. So I'll copy chunks of text and I'll put it in that app, and I'll listen to it. It sounds a little robotic and I don't love it, but it's a really good tool for editing. And then finally, use tools. I really like Scrivener. It's about $40, really worth more than $200. It's amazing. It's so easy to stay organized. Incredible tool. I cannot recommend it enough. Especially if you've ever worked with Word and had to do like pages and like 80 to 100 pages in Word, it starts to slow down. You can't ever find anything. Deleting sections or scenes is a whole thing. Staying organized is difficult. Scrivener is an incredible tool. Every writer needs to have Scrivener. I really like talk to text, so I have like kind of a cheap one. So, hey Siri, take a note.
What do you want it to say?
Tell my friends that they can use Siri to write their book on their commute.
Okay, I created a note. Tell my friends that they could use Siri to write their book on there.
Then also I have a fancier talk to text where I bought this Sennheiser. It's a microphone, so it's like it has like a Bluetooth like port thing. And I'll put a link to the description of where I bought that. It was like, I think it was like $200 to $300. It might be cheaper now because it's, I think, a little bit older. And then I did the Dragon Talk software, like dramatically increase. I mean, it's funny mistakes, right? It's like, why would any human say these things? Like sometimes the mistakes are made, but compared to how like typing versus like speaking and then getting into that flow of like just kind of talking off the cuff and like really getting into, and some people are just not natural writers either, like so especially if you're watching this and you're not a writer, this might be the tool for you. It might be worth investing on, like either doing your whole book on like Siri or like just making a video and then going to rev.com and translating that. They transcribe it for a small fee. For smaller videos, it's more worth it, but longer videos, that might get a little pricey. But they do have other transcribing websites out there. Talk to text might be your thing. Now you know how to write your novel in a flash. But I did promise that I would talk about the template that would save you a ton of time. So in Scrivener, you can create your templates. You can create a template sheet for like your character sketch, your settings, all that stuff. So I took the time to make my own because I did not like the templates that are out there. It just wasn't enough for me. So I'm gonna provide that today for you guys for free. It's in the link in the description. I'll also put a link in how to find Scrivener. I don't get a kickback from that. I just really love the tool so much. That I thought I would just make it easy and put it all in the description. So take a look for that. Tell me what your writing process is. Leave your method in the comment section below. I'll take a look. I mean, super fascinating to me. I can nerd out about this for so long. Now that you know kind of how to write your novel really fast, what happens if you have writer's block? Or worried about making a mistake as a new writer. So I'll put a link to those 2 videos that I created in the past. So just wait till the end of this video and click on those to watch those. And if this video was helpful, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, share with a friend, hit the like button. Doing those things let me know that you like these videos and I should make more of them. All right, thanks. Until next video, bye.